What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, boys. As you can clearly see, there's nobody here. I'm still in quarantine, and it kind of sucks. But guys, let me just say thank you for all the well wishes. I didn't mean to like cry or whine or be a sissy or anything. I just wanted to let everybody know, what was going on, whatever. Sure, I feel like garbage, but guys, the show must go on. This is how I make my living, so if I don't work, I don't eat. Simple as that. So I appreciate everybody's support. Appreciate you watching the videos, watching the ads. Some of you, I know you do that. Thank you. The premium subscribers, I appreciate all that. But guys, we got to get into something a little crazy. This is a little bit of a history lesson, and I thought you're going to enjoy this because I've also got some pretty cool cars to show you as well. So let's go. All right, boys, and towards the end of this video, I will have some updates on everything we got going on in the shop here. But let's just talk real quick about how things went through the 80s and the 90s as far as Mustang owners go. As far as, what was popular, what was hot, what was not, because what I've got here is something that was very much disliked for a lot of years and now is gaining in ridiculous amounts of popularity. So let's talk about it. All right, boys. So the Aero cars and the 4i cars, that's how you can kind of divvy up the Fox era, the 79 and 93 era. And I'm going to tell you, they have their fans. Both generations have their fans, as far as, some people are diehard 4i guys, some guys hate them, all that. But listen, in the 90s, well, let me go even back, back to the, 88, 89, a couple years into the Aero cars, which started in 87, literally you almost could not give away a 4i car, especially in the 90s, because they got such a bump in power. They got a stronger T5 transmission, so many other things, and they looked, more modern. They looked more 90s than the 4i cars, which looked 80. So literally, guys, in the late 90s, early 2000s, the 4i cars were literally thrown away. People didn't care. They didn't like them. They wanted the Aero cars, and the 4i cars were just kind of, they weren't very popular. They didn't have the extra power that the Aero cars had. Again, they didn't have as good a transmission. There was a lot of different things that made owners just really prefer the newer cars. And for a lot of time, you could get these cars literally for dirt cheap, and they were thrown away. They were packed up. They were made into race cars. And to be honest, guys, there's really not many of these cars left. So I mean, and obviously, guys, this is subject to your own personal taste, but from 87 to 93, you had the Aero cars like this, and people would look at these older cars, these 4i cars, the 79 to 86 cars, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. I want one of the newer ones. They're faster, whatever. In recent times, these 4i cars are getting stupid they're getting stupid, guys. Like, not only impossible to find, but once you do find them, nobody was selling them. Like, it's crazy. And you know, and we just happen to have these two freaking epic examples here. This 79 pace car, this is original 505 speed 86 notch, which I'm going to get into in a little bit. But it was so hilarious just thinking over the years that these cars were just basically ignored. Like, you couldn't hardly give these things away. Yeah, guys, had to show this thing off. If you're not familiar with the 4Eyes, different dash, different, little bit of different everything. Wonder if this thing will start. Fire this bad boy up. But yeah, guys, the 4Eyes were so much different, even though they're on the same chassis, and they're essentially underneath identical cars. I mean, they're very much different in their look and their feel. Even love this down here. That is so cool. But your air and heat controls, all the gauges, steering wheel. This is like the SVO steering wheel. I want to say this is not factory. But again, guys, I'm not 100% sure, but these things are so neat, guys. Guys, so looking under the hood of this thing, you can tell this car's never been wrecked. Again, this is original 505 speed car, 86 model, and originally Fuley 5.0 powered. Now these were the E6 heads. They didn't make a whole lot of power. Obviously this one's not stock, but looks like, oh, we got we got 3-bar heads. So yeah, we got GT40 heads, GT40 irons, trick flow top end. But yeah, guys, it has been converted to mass air. But man, this thing is, guys, you don't find these. You can find some of the 6-cylinder cars. They did still come with a 3.8 back then, or the 2.3 cars, but find an original 505 speed 4Eyes. All right, boys, and if you go back to 79, which we're kind of redoing the interior in this car at the moment, it's apart. There are some subtle differences. You can see the gauges, the dash, everything on here is very, very, very much the same. The HVAC controls, gauge layout, all that. Your door panels are quite a bit different. This is 79 only. Get your door handle way down there. But just such a neat freaking car. I mean, these cars they look a little bit older, they look a little bit dated, but they're still so they're so much fun. And like the design and the layout of these things is, I think it's classic. It's classic, it's timeless. I love it. Look at this. We found this pulling the carpet out. Original 79 pace car. All right, guys, so you look under the hood of this thing. Again, another super clean car. You can see it hasn't been wrecked, and this car has been on the channel before because we're doing a Coyote on this one. But man, I'm telling you, but you guys, you can see how similar they are under the hood. And there's a few minor differences. Like you look at the prop rod on the 79, and then you look at it on the 86, just a little bit different. And then of course these had the onion strut mounts, kind of cool. It's your old DuraSpark ignition. Boys, I'm telling you, will these be classics? I don't know. I think personally they already are, but you know, who knows? Who knows what the future holds? Most people, and you know, maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong, most people are calling these 69 Camaros or the 57 Chevys of the new era, you know, the 80s or whatever. I mean, guys, this car is 40. Oh my god, yeah, these cars are old, guys, I'm telling you. So to balk at the fact that these are classics, they're far beyond being antiques already. So yeah, I guess really and truly you could say these are classics. So there you go, guys. It's just some interesting points about them. It's I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I've never actually owned a 4i. I've owned 15 plus aero cars, but I've never actually owned a 4i. It's super cool though, guys. If you've never really gotten up on these cars, there's so many different, you know, small differences in, you know, how the cars are. Look at the corner windows right here as compared to the Aero cars, and then you look at the body side moldings as compared to the Aero car. Obviously this is a GT, but you know, just all those minor differences that make these cars so unique, and the fact that they're getting very popular and in high demand again doesn't surprise me a bit. I mean, they just, it's kind of just how it is, guys. Just like people, you know, trying to find stock parts now, and, you know, stock H pipes are going up. I mean, try to buy one on eBay. It's crazy. The old school GT40 intakes, all this old stuff, guys, that was from this era is all of a sudden coming full circle and going up in value. If you find one of these cars, if you're in the hunt, I would definitely look now, because I mean, these cars are even older than the Aero cars, so expect a project. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you. So guys, like, if I'm talking project and you think that restoring an 87 93 car is challenging, let me go ahead and tell you, when they're 10 to 12 14 years older, yeah, you better be ready, unless you find a really clean survivor car, which this car's had quite a bit of work done already. But again, guys, I mean, better be ready for a project. And also, let me just go ahead and tell you, a lot of these parts are very hard to find. Not as much demand for the 4i stuff as the Aero stuff. So, but LMR actually, guys, they're throwing out quite a few parts for these 4i's, but, you know, just be prepared. A lot of the little stuff, you know, is still not available. I know it is coming, because I talk weekly with the guys at LMR, but, all right, boys, so I did promise updates on some of the builds we got going. If you caught the video last week, we pulled the heads off of Chris's car. The plan right now, we're going to go ahead and pull the engine and reseal everything, because the car is just, it's leaking everywhere. And as you can clearly see, this car is too nice to be leaking like that. So that is the plan with that. Let's get inside and talk about a couple other things. Whew. Well, I know it doesn't look like it, but it's freaking freezing out there. And to be honest, I'm sicker than you know what. But okay, guys, here we go real quick. Boomer's car. I know it doesn't look like a lot of progress, but a lot of progress, mostly in the wiring department, which, as you can see, is getting hidden very well. Looking good. And then also some interior work, door panels, carpet, wiring. It's, boys, you know, it's a process. Okay, now, you saw Jennings' car, and we were having some issues getting it started in the last upload. That's all figured out. Just loose ground, weren't getting injector pulse. What is happening right now is exhaust is basically done. As you can see, Steve's Fab Shop did some welding, everything. Full 3-inch exhaust, boys. Flowmaster 3-inch tails, Flowmaster mufflers, Cook's X, Cook's headers, all that. Basically, all that's got to happen is these clamps, and yeah. So if you've been waiting for a first drive, we're almost there. And of course, the carbon fiber drive shaft is in. So yeah, first drive coming very shortly. Man, them 3-inch tips though, beautiful. Okay, guys, so you notice Lee's car's back. It sat forever at the tuners and is back with no change. So at this point, we're not sure if there's an internal issue with the transmission. Several tunes have been put in the car, and it still shifts erratically. So, you know, we're not sure yet. I have been talking to Lee. He's looking at a couple different options, one of which, not the least of which, is pulling everything out and going Gen 3 and 10R80, which would be epic. But he's got a lot invested in this setup too, so we're not 100% sure what's going to happen here. All right, guys, so there you go. Hope you enjoyed this video. Guys, I'm telling you, I'm getting all up in the fields talking about these old 4i's, because it was just crazy, because I remember, like, they weren't even an option for me as far as buying one. I wanted an Aero car. Pretty much everybody wanted an Aero car. Now we're talking the 90s, so it's crazy, you know, just thinking about how much things have changed, how old these cars now. Good God, I don't even think about that, because then I think about how old I am. And okay, so we need to go ahead and end that video here. If you enjoyed this video, big thumbs up. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Catch you next time. Later.